Welcome, everybody. So, I'm going to be recapping the first episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9 because RuPaul's Drag Race is my favorite show ever. And I really want to talk about what happened and what went down and all my opinions because I'm a rotted human being and I just need to express myself. The first queen to walk in the workroom was Peppermint, and I've known of Peppermint for years, and I'm pretty fucking biased towards her because I love her. I put my coins into her. I bought her music. I bought her music before I bought RuPaul's music, so you know it's serious. And her outfit, she looked fucking good. I love everything that she did in that outfit, except for the purse. Hated that purse. Didn't need the purse. Didn't need the fan either, but I'm okay with the fan. It was the purse that really got me. Besides that, she looked fantastic. Next was Valentina, and she is gorgeous. The problem with this outfit in particular is that she looks better in her Meet the Queens and in the two following outfits she wears in this episode. So, like, her level is higher than what this outfit is, but she does look good in here. And another thing interesting about Valentina, she's such an interesting person to me personally because she's so theatrical and she's kind of the person that out of drag, she doesn't need to do drag to be a star, to be interesting. She kind of has that quality about her. And I felt the same way with Robbie Turner. But unlike Robbie Turner, I felt like Robbie Turner was more likable out of drag than in drag. I think Valentina's likable either way, but Robbie Turner kind of painted herself as a bitch, but when she was out of drag, she looked like a normal human being. So it was different, but on the same wavelength of out of drag, it's kind of almost preferred. But for Valentina, it's either or. She doesn't need to be out of drag to be interesting. She is still pretty interesting when she's in drag, very theatrical, and I like her a lot. Next was Eureka, and she looks really good as well. My one problem is I didn't really like that white and pink chevron pattern in the center of her dress. I would have preferred it on the skirt. If that entire skirt was that pattern, I would have preferred it that way just because it kind of broke up the outfit where I didn't think it need to. But I do think the overall outfit is pretty good, and I really like her. She's really funny. And I can see already that there is a big group of people that really, really like her. And there's also another group of people that really dislike her. And that's kind of a shame that there's that group of people. Just because I feel like her humor comes off as really rude. And I don't think she is a horrible person at all. I just feel like she just constantly makes jokes and that is her humor. But she looks damn good, and also she kind of sets herself up to get made fun of herself multiple times. Like right here when she said that she prefers being round, and Valentina's like, yeah, I see that. And then she does the same thing with Charlie Hyde where she's like, I got it at Walmart, and then Charlie Hyde says, oh, I see that too. Like, it's the exact same joke, but she did it twice in a row. So she kind of sets herself up to be made fun of, but it's because she's making fun of herself. Speaking of Charlie Hyde, she's the next girl to walk in, and I enjoy this look. My one problem with it is the giant glasses look kind of cheap just because it's kind of like grayish off black construction paper looking and not matte black like literally all the other blacks on her outfit. That's like my one critique. I like the silhouette. I like seeing this. This is kind of Charlie's silhouette, you know. She kind of has that pat down. And she's 52 and her legs are out and she is strutting them. She's fucking fierce. I also love anything that has plastic chains. I love a plastic chains. It's kind of like the weird crafty kindergartner in me. I love a plastic chain. And I think she looks fucking good. So, yay to Charlie. Next is Pheromone, and there's two things I want to mention about Pheromone. One is, it took me so fucking long to realize that was her name. I didn't realize it was a pun name. It took me, like, I had known about her for months because she was one of the rumored queens. And it didn't hit me until watching this episode live on VH1 that it was Pheromone, like pheromones, you know, that. And I can't believe it took me that long. Usually I'm pretty good on fucking pun names, but not with Farrah. Not with her. I thought her name was Farrah and her last name was Moan. Like, I thought that was it. I didn't know there was any connection between the two words. But based on the outfit, she wore a kind of a chain dress and it looks really good. I have two problems with it. One is when a queen wears a dress like that, I want there to not be any contour on their chest. Maybe that's a personal thing for me because I like the androgyny of not having any sort of titties, but she has the illusion of them, and I'd rather she just didn't. But maybe she doesn't want to be androgynous. The other thing is the white panties. She could have wear some flesh colored ones and really like did that, because I'm sure the chains would have hid them pretty well, but she didn't, and overall it's fine. Next is Sasha Velour, and when I watched the entrances the first time, which was on YouTube from like the live crowd that recorded it with their phones, I didn't realize she was screaming in her entrance. That made more sense when I actually watched it live, because the reaction of the girls was just like, what's going on? And I thought that there was like, I mean, her look's not that outrageous. It's like, it's okay. It's not that outrageous to wonder what the fuck this queen's doing. And then I realized, oh, she's screaming now. That makes more sense of why the girl's reaction was like, what the hell's going on? But my reaction to her screaming was like, that's not gonna really work on this t-shirt, but you can try. But based on her outfit, I love her beat. I love the glasses. I love the crown. I also love the three brooches, the carnation, the eye, and the lips. But my problem with the outfit is the two accents of red from the rose and the lips isn't anywhere else on the dress. There's no other red. And I think that's a problem. There should have been red somewhere else. I also don't like the bottom half of the dress, nor do I like the fur collar. So overall, I don't think I like this entire outfit. But I can't say she looks bad. I just don't like the actual dress. And she will look better. I've just seen her better. So it's, for an entrance, it's alright, but she will improve. I can see it already. Oh, and another thing is, I think she's wearing moon earrings. And I would have preferred if she wore those black ones that she has during her interview as a boy. She would have looked better with those. Trust. Next is Alexis Michelle. And let me tell you, Alexis Michelle is a fucking chameleon. She never looks the same. I've never seen her once look the same. In her Meet the Queens, in her entrance, in her 2 runways from this. There's a video on Facebook that's going fucking viral right now of her getting into drag. She never looks the same. None of them look the same. I would think they were all different queens. Also, she looks good as a boy too, so that's another fucking plus for her. Everything about it is so good, and this look in particular is really right. I love everything about it. It's so sparkly. I love it. I love every single aspect of it. There's not one thing I would change. Next up is Shea Coulee. And I think Shea Coulee's outfit is my favorite. I can't really see anybody from rewatching it right now take over how good she looks right here. I love everything about it. I love that the bottom half of her body doesn't match the top half. I love everything with all the blues that shouldn't be there, but I love every aspect of it. Especially that dress is hot and that jacket's hot. Those glasses, everything is so good, and I can't really front her on anything. Except for, are those shoes like clear? I can't tell with the shoes. Maybe they're like that clear plastic heel with the blue bottom. I might have a problem with that. But besides that, I believe she's my absolute favorite entrance-wise. Next is Trinity Taylor, and unfortunately, it's probably my least favorite outfit. And there's really no one element that I like besides her body. Her body is sick. But besides that, there's nothing that I like. Her outfit, her shoes, her hair. I thought I saw that wig and I thought I would like it. It's kind of like All Stars 2. When Michelle thought she wasn't gonna like Adore's hair, but she did. Except for I thought I was gonna like that hair, but I don't. There's just no one element about Trinity's look that I enjoy, which is a shame because I think she's pretty cool. But it's just nothing about it that I like. And when she introduced herself, she talked about being a pageant queen, but not wanting to call herself a pageant queen. That there's so much stigma or astigmatism against it. And what I have to say to that is, you're not going to change that stigma by saying you're not that. You will change that stigma by saying you are a pageant queen and then killing the game as a pageant queen. If you're listening to this, no one's going to listen to this. But, like, I don't understand that stigma towards pageant queens in general. Like, I remember, what season? I think it must have been season 7, where people were really like, I can't believe RuPaul would add her to the show. She's a pageant queen. And it's like, well, pageant queens are fucking drag queens. They've been part of drag community for fucking ever. I don't know what you want from drag, but pageant is a very, very important part of drag. So please understand that before you make some stupid ass comments. Next up is Kimora Black, and she looks so good. She looks amazing. I love Sheer. She loves Sheer. I love everything about it. The one thing I don't like, I love everything. Here's the thing I don't like. That's exactly what I just said. Is I don't understand the fur. I don't know why she has that. I don't understand its purpose. It's they're hanging off. She does a pose where it's almost a Hitler salute. Almost. She was lucky she didn't do it. And the fur's hanging off, and I don't understand it. So she could have just not brought that in. I don't know if she just needs to hold something as she fidgets. You know, she's the kind of person that has her phone with her. So they took her phone and she just needed something in her hand. So she picked up a fur. I don't know. It doesn't go with the outfit at all, even if it was wrapped around her. It just doesn't go. That's my one problem, is unnecessary fur. But other than that, she looks damn good. Next is James Mansfield, and she looks so fucking cute. She's adorable in that pink dress. I love everything about it. I even love the puppet. I didn't think I was gonna love the puppet, but I like the puppet. I don't know much about her. I also love her smile. That's another thing. Her smile is really infectious, and I really like, she's like a kind of a light that I really enjoy from these shows. Kind of reminds me of Jaden Dior Fierce in that way, because in her season, Jaden was the light. Like, she was so funny and so just loving, and I loved her so much. And I actually cried when Jaden got eliminated, because that season wasn't such a like happy-go-lucky season. Everyone was going through it. Even like I feel like everyone else's light was like Katya, but even Katya was like having the mental breakdown of life while she was on that season. So I feel like James Mansfield is that to me again, where she's like really fun and really bubbly and airy, and I just love to see a smile that makes me smile. Sasha did say that she did look scared, and I do agree with that. And I'll talk more on that later when we get into the Untucked. But I love her dress. I love how she looks. Next up is Nino Bonina Brown. And she looks so good as a mouse. And her padding is everything. She has 3 sofas in her hips. It's amazing. This is going to be fucking nerdy. It kind of reminds me of in Soul Calibur 2. There's a character named Valdo. He's like a really old man that turns it, just so you know. And he has an alternate costume where his like hips and thighs go like jut out. And it's so good, because usually he's like super thin and skinny and super flexible. BT dubs. He's everything. He's like my second favorite character. This got really nerdy really fast. And it kind of reminds me of that, and it's everything. Because I fucking love it. So Nino Bonina Brown is turning it for me, and I love everything about this outfit. There's nothing I can fault. Yes, God, amen, check. Boots the house down. That was so forced. Also, she was the one that came out in the Meet the Queens in an ugly ass sweater and leggings, and she turned the party just because she had that makeup that made no one even notice that. She wore that ugly ass outfit, but her face changed everything. You didn't even see that ugly ass shit. She turned it. Last up was Aja, and while I like the actual dress, I think my problem is the length. I don't know, there's something weird about the length that I don't like, but overall I like the entire look. So she looks good. She kind of has like a spiky, vivacious outfit, but with way more tiny spikes instead of like 5 giant spikes. And it's giving me what I need, except for that length. At this point, Trinity says that Aja has like weird makeup, and I kind of agree, but it's at certain angles. She paints herself at a specific angle, and then she looks good at that angle, but she doesn't look good at other angles. which is a problem, but I do think she looks good in her entrance. And then finally, we have Ronnie showing up, and God, how I wish this was a surprise for me. I wish I hadn't seen anything about it, but Lady Gaga shows up, pretends to be a contestant, and I wish in all my heart that they really truly thought it was a contestant for way too long, like for the longest. You remember that Adele thing where she surprised the Adele impersonators? I kind of wish it was that, but you know how there was that one that was like, it's not her, and it was her. I kind of wish this happened, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. But she looked damn good, so props to her. And then we had a touching moment with Eureka, which I'm glad we had because she had some comments to make during the entrances, so I'm glad we had a little bit of heart from her. It was really touching. And then we have the race start. So RuPaul says that there will be no one eliminated, and that's kind of shocking. And also the challenge is a runway with 2 outfits, which is a lot, but also it kind of means there's no sewing challenge, which really does throw things through the loop. It's not really what we expect. We usually expect a sewing challenge, even in season 7. And season 7 was the season where they were like, let's mix everything up. They had a sewing challenge, even though the point of the challenge was to take off what you sewed. And then the winner was naked, which made no sense because, like, Violet was naked, but Katya was also like completely naked as well. And it was like, why did one completely naked body win over the other? Because one had a more snatched body. That's kind of body shaming. As like, it was all that. So anyways, so I think I'm going to skip most of the workroom. There was nothing really in the workroom that was telling, nothing that I really care to speak on. There's a little thing with like Kimura where she was like, Aja just talked about New York and no one cares about that. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's cool. I mean, her story's her story, you know, it's not hurting you. So let's just go on to the runway because I obviously haven't talked shit enough, and because I like everything. So the first queen on the runway was Peppermint. And this runway they have to do something representing their hometown. So Peppermint's from New York, and she comes out in a Statue of Liberty. And Aja also does a Statue of Liberty look. I prefer, once again, I'm biased, I prefer Peppermint's over Aja's. It just seems more put together. Like, I prefer Peppermint's because it seems, I don't know, she just looks fucking sickening in it. I love everything about it. There's nothing that I don't like. So, I mean, I can't really talk shit on it. There's nothing that I dislike about it. Next up is Valentina, and probably my favorite look of the night, maybe. She looks so good. I love everything about it. Everything she did here is so good. It's amazing. I can't diss anything. She just looks amazing. And I'm Mexican, so I feel like I'm like, oh, she's my queen. She's doing it. She's did that. She already done had hers is. And if there was anything I can say bad, no, I can't say anything bad. She's so fucking thin. God damn it. I hate her. I already hate her because she... Next is her ass out. Wait a minute. Something I noticed with her is we never see the back. I don't think we ever see the back. What the heck? Maybe I could catch a glimpse of it in Untucked. Next up is Eureka, and she's kind of like dressed as a trashy southern woman. And I get it, and I see it, and I love everything about it, actually. It's so wrong that it's right. There's so many elements that this woman. You know her. It's an exaggeration of her. She definitely has a flawless necklace. That is I wish that necklace was flawful instead of flawless. Just my one personal critique of this outfit. But it's so wrong that it's right. And it really gives Divine feels. It looks... I was thinking of Divine, specifically Divine in Female Trouble when she's like the dancer at the very beginning. It was like that. Next up is Charlie Hides, and she is a pilgrim because she's from Boston. And I don't like any element of it. I don't like the outfit before the reveal. I don't like it after the reveal. There's nothing really about it, and I feel like she could have taken something better from it, and maybe even instead of done Boston, did something from the UK. I don't remember where she's from, the UK. Probably London, because 80% of the people in the UK are from London, but that's not true at all. But she is like, her face is so gorgeous, and I love everything about it. And her reveal was, it was stunted, it was lacking, and that kind of deducted points from her, which is a shame. Next up is Pheromone, and she's from Vegas, and she doesn't look Vegas-y at all, in my opinion. This kind of looks like it would fit more like a Mardi Gras New Orleans kind of a feel than Vegas. Feathers don't equal showgirl. Like, I feel like she thinks that, but there's nothing really Vegas-y about it. Like, she could have done, like, gambling, she could have done a lot of stuff, but it just didn't really do it for me, unfortunately. But I do think she looks gorgeous. I love the outfit. It just doesn't really say Vegas to me. But she lives there, so she can know more than I do. Next up is Sasha Velour and New York, so she kind of has like a big artsy vibe to her. And I love the outfit, and it's gonna feel like I'm piggybacking off the judges, that she doesn't need that portrait. She doesn't need that image, that painting. Was too much. And speaking of that moment where Ross was like, oh, I love all the props, and then Gaga intervenes and she's like, well, she didn't need the painting and it would have been fine. And then Ross is like, see, Michelle, it takes Gaga to give us middle ground. And I'm like, well, Gaga didn't really side with you, Ross. She sided with Michelle, because Michelle didn't say no props. She said she has too much props, which is true, because she has two props. She has the heart and she has the painting. She need to get rid of the painting. Gaga sided with Michelle. Just for the record, Ross. Speaking of Ross, who the fuck thought it would be a good idea to put Wendy Williams in the segments during commercial break? Who the fuck thought that? And speaking of her, where isn't she used to live TV? Doesn't she know she's live? I feel like that was fucking tragic. That was tragic, her. I can't even stand it. I had to mute it every time she was on screen. I could not even deal. That girl next to her was stunning, though. She was gorgeous. I don't know who she was. I think her name is Sky or something. I don't know. She was everything. Ross was there. Whatever. But overall, Sasha Velour, back to Sasha. I love this look. I love her. She looks so good here. Besides that one portrait. That was her only downfall. But it didn't take her down too far. Next up is Alexis Michelle. And again, fucking chameleon. She doesn't look anything like the other times you've seen her. She looks so good here. But her message that she tried to give across from her hometown, New York, kind of got lost. She had a bunch of like provocative kind of immigration, Black Lives Matter, stuff like that. And she also had this kind of like skirt cape thing that she can bring up. And it had Statue of Liberty and I Love New York on it. She should have really switched the placement of all those words from her outfit onto the back thing, and she could have had the I Love New York and stuff on her outfit. But with that being said, I do think she looks good here. I just think her message got lost, and that's really my only fault with it, is really the message, which is very important because that's her entire outfit. Basically, it's a simple like white swimsuit kind of cut outfit. So there's not really much to it besides the message. So it doesn't really do it, even though I do think she looks really good. Shea Coulee somehow turned this stupid ass wiener outfit into fucking amazingness. She looks so good. She looks so wrong. It's so amazing. So she's from Chicago, and she has a giant hot dog on her head. And I don't know how she convinced me personally, because it's a personal thing with me, that was okay. That everything she's doing is correct. But she did it because I love this outfit. I think it's so funny. I think it's so genius. And yeah, it really represents Chicago. You know, she's very creative and I really like what I see. I also love the fact that she has some ashy gray hair underneath that barely pokes out, but I noticed and I love it. Next up is Trinity Taylor, and she has a really well designed like theme park bodysuit with a similar theme to what Alexis Michelle had, with like that pop-up thing that goes up around her. Unfortunately, that doesn't really scream Florida, except for there's like an alligator on it and there's palm trees, but besides that, it doesn't really scream it. But like the illusion of it being like her bodysuit and that background, it works, but it doesn't scream Florida to me. I don't know what she would do, like some weird meth out people, I don't know. But it just didn't do it for me, and I kind of don't, I think I think she looks good. But I just think she missed the mark with the actual challenge. Her beat is everything here, though. Look at that beat. That is good. And that hair. So that's kind of like a shame that it doesn't say Florida for me. Next up is Kimora Black. And I think all the judges hated this look. I love it. I love everything about it. I think she looks stunning. But again, it doesn't say Vegas. It kind of, again, reminds me of like, maybe not quite New Orleans. I don't really know what peacock feathers tell me. It doesn't tell me Vegas. That's not what it tells me. But she just looks good. She just looks so good. Why is she so pretty? Why do pretty people exist when how dare she? Just, how dare she? How dare she look good? She just looks so good, and I love, my favorite thing is obviously that lace bodysuit, because she looks so good in that. But I see everything the judges had to say about it, but I still disagree. I love everything about it. And I want to point out something that I kind of heard. There's a point where she says, all the queens in Vegas know I'm the prettiest, youngest, skinniest drag queen, or something along those lines. And when you listen to that part in conjunction to what the audio that she says before and right after that, it doesn't sound like it was recorded together. It sounds like that was spliced in there between what came after and what came before. I don't know if the editors are being a little shady, which they are obviously, but it sounded like she didn't really say that there. But she did say it in the same intonation. It just, the quality of the audio was different. So it's hard to tell, but I personally don't feel like she said it there. She definitely said it, obviously, but she didn't say it at that moment. And you also never see those words like leave her mouth. It's just B-roll of her on the runway. Next up is James Mansfield, and she's wearing a cow inspired to go with her Milwaukee drag, and I didn't read it as cow. I was kind of getting like Flintstones, Betty Rubble kind of a vibe from it, but like once it came to me that it was a cow, I liked it less than I did when it was the Flintstones inspired one. There's just nothing about it that really like takes me. There's nothing about it that I like. I really don't like that necklace. That flower necklace I'm not a fan of, but it just doesn't do it for me, unfortunately. Next up is Aja, and she has a New York inspired outfit where she is a Statue of Liberty, and she is the second Statue of Liberty. And again, there's nothing about it that really I enjoy. Like, I don't like the orange hair. I don't like any part of it, and kind of a shame because she walks in it like she's everything, but there's nothing I like about it. And the last one for this runway was Nina Bonina Brown. She came out as a peach and she turned it, she killed it. It was everything. I'm really mad that they chose this to put in the trailer. They should have saved it so it was a surprise for everybody and it made everybody gag, because it became a meme really quick. And I don't watch the trailers. The only trailer I watch is the initial one, and which had like the girls in the Meet the Queens outfits, and the Gaga one, which was like 10 seconds long. Besides that, I don't watch any trailers. I don't want to know any runway outfits, because then I'm like, well, this girl's obviously not going home because I saw a runway outfit that she's going to be in later, so she's obviously not going home. I don't want to think about it that way, so I avoid all the trailers. But her peach became a meme really quick, so I saw it, unfortunately. But she looks so damn good. It's pretty amazing that she could do that. And she fucking killed it. So that was their hometown runway. Now they have to do another one, which is a Lady Gaga inspired runway. So they will pretty much have to recreate a Gaga outfit. First up is Peppermint, and she is doing the Bowie inspired Grammys outfit. And though I do think like the jacket and everything about it looks so good, she kind of didn't take it all the way there, and that was kind of the problem. And I feel like she would have been more successful in doing another look opposed to this one, even though I do think this was a smart look. I just feel like she could have done something better than what this one was. So I don't think I really enjoy this one for Peppermint, which breaks my heart to say. Next up is Valentina, and she has that CFDA Awards outfit that Gaga wore, which is pretty legendary. And I do think it looks really good on her. There's two elements that I don't enjoy, and that one is the sunglasses, because it's been a minute, but I don't think Gaga wore those sunglasses when she went to those awards. And I think the second one is the wig. The wig kind of looks kind of cheap to me. It's too glossy. It kind of looks like a cheap party store wig. As if I know wigs, like I really don't, but like that's just my impression of it. Compared to the original one, it's also not the right color. But like besides that, it just looks really glossy when it should be really matte. Like it looks plastic. But besides that, she looks fantastic. Next up is Eureka, and she is doing the telephone striped with like the giant shoulder pad music video look. And I think this is so good. I love everything about it. The change that she did, instead of having those sunglasses, she has like goggles. Weird choice to do, but it kind of makes it her own and unique. So it's Lady Gaga with a Eureka spin. I think it looks so good on her, and I really love everything about it. Next up is Charlie Hides, and she has that like white ghostly look that Gaga did with like the really tall hair and the lace. And it looks really good. I think she has one of the most accurate looks to Gaga, so it's really successful. It's just hard to pinpoint like whether she did this bad or wrong, because it just looks really good on her. And also just covers everything, so it's like 3 like coffee filters and a giant wig. But the detail is there, and I think that's what they noticed, so it's a plus for me. Next up is Pheromone, and she has that Alejandro robe. And though I do think she looks like Gaga, that robe, she is swimming in that robe. It's too big, and also the quality of the robe doesn't look like the quality of the music video, which is obviously she's not going to get that quality. She's not Gaga, she doesn't have the coins, but there's something off about it. And she said in Untucked, and we will get into it, that she did have something to reveal underneath, and she didn't do it because her nerves got the better of her. I do want to applaud her for using her real hair, because I love any queen that uses her real hair, even though I don't enjoy this outfit as a whole. Speaking of applause, Sasha Velour has that clown makeup look that Gaga did for the Applause music video, and it's amazing. My one problem with it is I really wish she had it on her mouth and then wiped it, and that's how the smudges happen, but she didn't. I mean, that would have been extra, but overall the look is right. I like it all, so nothing really fought there. Next is Alexis Michelle, and again, Chameleon looks nothing like she did before, and she looks so good. She looks so good here. I can't fucking believe how good she looks. It's kind of making me angry how good she looks here, because she's so stunning, and I can't take it. I really can't take how good she looks here. She looks exactly like the picture, and she also has her own way of doing it, because it kind of looks like something she would wear regardless. Even if it wasn't a Gaga inspired look, it kind of just looks like something she would wear, and I love everything about it. It's really flawless. There's nothing at fault here. Next up is Shea Coulee, and she has a like tool heavy look, and it kind of doesn't work when you compare it to the original photo, because I'm pretty sure the original one is the living dress that Gaga wore, and it moved and stuff, and it was really interesting to see. Shea Coulee's outfit compared to Gaga's doesn't look as good. Of course it isn't going to look as good, but the other queens seem to have some sort of exact like recreation, while she has more of a inspired by this outfit. And though I do think she looks good, I don't think it really fits as well as she thinks it does, which is a shame, because I really love Shea Coulee. I also love one pant leg, one not pant leg. I love that, but I don't think Gaga did that in the first place either. Also, that living dress kind of looks like Rude's dress in the promo. Just saying, kind of really does. Next up is Trinity Taylor, and her outfit is inspired by American Horror Story. And though I do think she looks really good, she looks so good. That hair in particular is amazing. Her beat also very good. My one problem is that she just took some paint and put it on her neck. I mean, that doesn't look like blood. That don't look like blood, especially considering that like we recently came off of Dragula, like where fake blood is required. That shit don't look right. It doesn't look like blood at all. It literally looks like a painting accident. It doesn't really work. And I do have a problem with that lack of quality there, even though the rest of her outfit looks really good. But that red neck is such a distraction to me. Next up is Kimora Black, and she has a Gaga-inspired outfit that Gaga never actually wore. And she doesn't really remind me of Gaga. You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Nomi Malone, like straight up Nomi Malone, like at the point where she has her hair pulled back, where she's like basically a cartoon villain, like that. She really reminds me of Nomi Malone here. This could have been her Vegas outfit and would have made way more sense, because she does look so much like her. And again, gorgeous, love her. Doesn't fit the bill at all. It doesn't scream Gaga to me. And she looks good. She looks good. Damn, does she look good? Fucking how dare you? How dare you? And she came out there saying how much she was like, I don't want to wear something that Gaga already wore because everyone else is going to do that. I hate when queens say that. I really do. I hate it the most when it's like the last runway episode where it's like top 4 and then they lip sync for the top 3. There's always a queen that goes, oh, I'm not going to wear a gown because they expect me to wear a gown. I'm going to wear a stupid pantsuit and look horrible. And yeah, you fucking look horrible. Why would you do that? That's so dumb. Why would you wear a pantsuit? Wear a fucking dress. Wear a really pretty dress. Why are you wearing a pantsuit? Bob, Violet. Oh, they won. That's why. Raja wore a swimsuit. Tyra wore a swimsuit. Sharon wore that stupid ass ugly tentacle finger shit. What did Bianca wear a dress? She was pretty. That was amazing. All Stars 2 knew how to do it. Every girl wore a dress. Even Katya wore that ugly lampshade shit. No one gonna get some hate for that. But like, wear a dress at the finale. Wear a dress. That's what I'm saying. Don't wear some ugly ass shit. Next up is James Mansfield, and she's doing that, I believe, Vogue cover, which is pretty iconic. I remember that cover and it like took my breath away. That was beautiful. And I feel like from afar you could see the similarities, but once it got closer you realize what was happening and the gag that James was doing. And I don't mean gag as in gag, I mean gag as in a goof, a bit. And I enjoyed it, but I feel like it would have been stronger if she just did, like, if she had a wig that looked exactly like it, how good it would have looked. I feel like it would have looked really good and it would have been stronger for her overall. I really like the dress. I think the dress is great, but I think it would have been better if she didn't try to be funny. It was funny, but it wasn't so hilariously funny. It wasn't like Eureka's hometown outfit. Next up is Nina Bonina Brown, and she fucking killed it. She's wearing an outfit inspired by Gaga's 2009 VMAs outfit, and wearing that outfit in particular is so smart because I feel like that particular, not the outfit in particular, but that moment, the MTV VMAs, this is back when the VMAs still mattered. That really went from Gaga being like a really incredibly popular pop star to a complete household name. There's no doubt that she will ever leave our zeitgeist. She will be remembered. And I think like that was like the crossing over point. And Nina didn't do a complete recreation. She did her own style again, and giant hips and thighs, looks amazing. By the time you reach down to her ankle, it's like a twig. It's so tiny and it just juts out. It's so fucking good. I love everything about it. She is so smart with her choices, and there's nothing I can say bad about Nina Bonina Brown. Not at this point. Everything is right. Last up is Aja, and she is wearing the Comes des Garçons. No, could you imagine? I can't pronounce it, but I like to say it really fast to make people think that I pronounce it right. Comme des Gun. So there's really nothing much to say about it. It's a pretty exact recreation besides the color. I prefer Gaga's because it was blue and pink, and I love blue and pink together. But Aja, it just looks exactly like it. I don't think it's a particularly memorable or great outfit, but it's a pretty great recreation. I do prefer Aja's hair to Gaga's in this particular picture that they used. So there's that. So overall, it was a really strong runway, and these girls they're kind of out for blood at this point. I really enjoy everything I saw. So I'm gonna do this every week because for funsies I like to imagine what I would wear on the runway, even though I don't do drag, I don't have any skills or could walk in heels or have money or whatever be on the show. So it's all imaginary, and as if this could even be a possibility. But for the hometown one, I live in Fort Worth, Texas. So on the logo of our city, we have a longhorn on it, and I would do like a minotaur kind of a look with like, I want exposed breast but like still hairy, and kind of have like you remember that episode of That's So Raven where they turn into cows? Kind of have where like they start becoming part cow and they have those snouts. I would have that with like a giant piercing. And by the way, that episode was like my favorite episode ever, and they only aired it once a year because it was a Halloween episode, which was bullshit. They could everyone would have been happy if they aired Halloween episodes all the time, because those are like the best episodes of any show ever. So it's like, come on, man. But that's a different rant for a different day. So that would be my hometown look. But my Gaga look would be probably also from the Telephone music video. And it would be that leather jacket look where she has the Diet Coke cans curled in her hair. I would do that one because I like the thought of a drag queen packing up like 8 empty Diet Coke cans specifically to use in their hair. Or also the thought of a queen like downing 8 Diet Cokes right before going on the runway to put in their hair. I like the thought of both. So I would do that one. It wouldn't be like a particularly amazing, fantastic look, but it would be the look that I would choose. Or if it was possible, I would love to do the Born This Way cover album where she's the motorcycle. I would love to do that, but I don't think it's physically possible. So before we get into the end of the episode, I'm going to go into Untucked, because at this point is where they would do critiques, and I just want to go in like chronological order and talk about the end of the episode at the end. So first thing a note in Untucked that happens is Valentina immediately says how happy she's felt that it's really been like really good and there hasn't really been much shade. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice thing to say. Oh no, they left that in the Untucked episode. That's not gonna last long. And it didn't. It didn't. They went from nice to fucking cutthroat in a second. So next thing that happens is Nina asks Kimura if she had any work done. And Kimura is very adamant that she hasn't. And then Trinity asks the entire group who would like to have work done. And a majority of the queens raised their hands saying they would. And then right after that, Kimura's like, oh wait, I think I lied. I did have some work done. So here's what I think happened. I think she didn't feel comfortable because there is a stigma against queens that have surgery. You've seen it in past seasons. It's definitely there. And it's unfortunate because it's their body. Who the fuck are you to say? But it is there. And I think she felt like that was going to happen to her. So she didn't feel comfortable announcing it until everyone said that they would get it. Like that they didn't have a problem with surgery. So I feel like that's what happened. I really hope she didn't forget. I'd rather that she be a bit insecure than actually forget that she had work done. But that's just my hope anyways. Then we have Charlie kind of asking James if she's a bit like quiet and why she's not really talking. And it kind of comes down to her like not feeling that great on the challenge. My one hope for James is that she will do really well on a challenge. I feel like James is the kind of person that when she does really well, she will continue to do well. But when she's down, she will stay down, unfortunately. And I can really relate to that. I think that's how I am. And when I'm like in a good mood, I will try to keep up that good mood for as long as possible and like do really well on my work and whatever. But when I'm down, it's really hard to get out of being down. So I hope James does really well soon so she can continue to do well. And that's just my thoughts. There's really nothing to go on that besides I just relate to James is all. So then it starts getting, and Eureka suggests that they name their bottom threes and whatnot. If I had to name a bottom three, it would be James, Trinity, and Kimura. I don't know who would be in the bottom two. They're probably Kimura and James. More than likely Kimura and James, but it could have been whoever. There's no one in the bottom of this episode, which is really good. That's also another thing to know is that this episode is so different because there's no actual critiques. None of the girls are actually getting feedback except for a bit later in the episode. There's also no lip sync, and this season people have been going, we're gonna have some really good lip syncs because every girl in here is amazing lip syncer. And the first episode there's no lip sync, so it's kind of weird that we have that. Also, Rue's not in drag. It's not the actual main stage, so it's a very different first episode to what we will see for the rest of the season. And it does feel different. I feel like kind of blue balled because I don't have a lip sync and I don't have anyone going home, because I I prefer for 2 people to go home than to 2 people to stay. Like, I rather 2 people go home. Each time a double elimination happened, it felt so good. Well, the first double elimination was the best. That one was like euphoric. I was like, oh, that feels so good. I feel like I had a massage after that because I was like, how are you not doing that? But also because I was not rooting for any of those 2 girls. Last season when Dax and Layla got eliminated, I was rooting for Dax. So I was a little not happy about that, but I understood. This time, no one went home this episode, but it still ended with like a big shocker. That wasn't shocking at all. I basically called everything that happened this episode. I was for sure thinking Nina was going to win and they were going to announce a 14th queen at the end. And those were the 2 things I was 100% sure was going to happen, and they happened. And I was still gagged about everything that happened this episode. So that's how you know I'm enjoying the show. But anyways, they start talking about each other from this thing, and it's kind of a little cunty, a little bit here and there, and there's no 2, like, this person said this, that is like, well, that's their opinion, I'm going to leave it at that. There's nothing that I really want to comment on. Next up was the queens talking about how much they love to perform, and Aja in particular was like I can look good in clothes, but on a stage I fucking live. And like I said before, the lip syncs this season should be amazing because we all seen the videos, we all seen them perform. There's a list of them all performing, and it's a fucking, these queens know how to fucking move their mouth to other people's music. It's really, I can't wait, and I'm so mad that there's not one the first episode. I really want there to be a lip sync so badly, because it's so weird to not have one, because I kind of just associate every episode with the lip sync that happens. Like, I rewatch Drag Race all the time, and I really do associate every episode with a lip sync. Like if you tell me the theme of the episode, I don't think of like what the runway was or what this was. I think, oh, this was the lip sync song that they did. Like, so it's still weird that there's no lip sync. That's all I'm saying. So Nina was having kind of like a personal moment where she was explaining herself, and then Gaga kind of came in the wrong time. Like, they didn't note that, but I noted that because Nina was like, she was saying some stuff, and then Gaga came in, kind of cut her off because Gaga is Gaga. But Gaga comes in and she gives each girl advice, and I enjoy Gaga. I like her, and I think she's really great, and what she does is good. But I have a newfound respect for Gaga more than I ever had before. Everything she did for this, and Untucked in particular, was incredible. Everything she said, she spoke so well, and it was interesting to see this group of adults, kind of turn into children in a classroom. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean that in, people forget when you're a kid and you're in school, you're literally sitting at a desk listening to a teacher for hours. And that's what they did. They sat there and they listened, and it was really interesting to see that happen, because she just has that kind of presence, and you want to, and you believe everything she says. She could be, I feel like I'm wondering, is she just that good of an actress where she can just fucking lie through her teeth? I genuinely believe she's so genuine, and she cares about all these queens. She wants them to be as good as they can be. So it's kind of, it brought a tear into my eye of what she did and how this all happened. The only thing to note of Gaga's critiques is Farrah's outfit reveal that she didn't do. It was a black bodysuit with like pointy nipples. It looked right. I loved it. I thought it looked really good. So it's kind of a shame that she didn't show that. And also, Gaga said, like, you said it yourself, you kind of got nervous and you should have stuck to your guns and took off the robe to reveal it, but you didn't. And with that moment, you see her grab at the robe to open it, and she didn't do it. And it was like, oh, like literally, like anything, like there could have been anything that happened in that moment, and like in an alternate universe, she did that, and Gaga lived for it, So it's kind of a shame that she didn't reveal the bodysuit underneath. The last thing to note in Untucked is, that short, cute guy with the glasses? Where the fuck's he? He was the best part of Untucked every year. I mean, he was only in for the past 2 years because they only have Untucked in this style for the past 2 years. But where he at? What you do with him? What happened to him? I'm gonna need some milk cartons. I'm gonna put a picture I drew in Microsoft Paint. We need to find him. What happened to him? Because he's missing. He's MIA. We don't know where he is. So I'm upset about that. I don't know about anyone else, but it's haunting me. So back on the stage, announces the top 3, who is Eureka, Sasha, and Nina. And I was pleasantly surprised that Eureka was in the top 3. I was expecting it to be Valentina instead of Eureka, but I could have taken either, but I was happy it was Eureka. The thing with Eureka is, in the episode prior, she said that her only goal was to beat Trinity, which she technically did. I hope her getting so close to winning kind of makes her feel like, oh, I was so close, and I was focused on beating Trinity instead of beating my other contestant. I really hope that she learns from that and she realizes it's not just Trinity that's your competition. It's everybody. She needs to beat everybody in this competition to win. Can't beat just Trinity and think you're going to win the contest. You need to beat everybody. Sasha Velour was in the top 3, and I think she did great. I also agree with that. The winner of this episode was Nina Bonina Brown, and I couldn't be more happy. Like I said before, I really caught it before I even watched the episode. I was like, Nina's going to win, and what's going to happen is going to happen. So Nina won, and she's very thankful that she won, because she wasn't so sure, but she made magic tonight, and I'm really fucking happy for her. I'm really glad she's here, and I love her to death. I love everything she did so far. She can't do wrong in my eyes at this point, so she's kind of has a high bar right now. Hope it doesn't fall. And then at the very end, when Nina is like fucking living her dream, RuPaul says, wait a minute, girl, we need to add a 14th contestant to this race. They added somebody to this race. I don't know who. It's Cynthia Lee Fontaine. It has to be Cynthia. If it's not Cynthia, I'll eat my hat. I don't wear hats, but I'll eat it. They showed her ass. Actually, now that I think about it, that's not like really a big ass. Like, I feel like Cynthia's ass is bigger than that. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think it's Cynthia. I can't imagine it being anyone else, because whoever it was thin. They were a tiny little elf person, and I hate them for it. Fuck you. But I would be okay with Cynthia. The other person that I could think of was like Elisa Summers, because it's been a hot minute since we've seen her, and I'm sure she could do it. I actually would love to see Elisa Summers come back, because I want to see more of her. I would love to see more of her. Maybe I should follow her on Twitter or something. But I do think it's Cynthia. If it's not Cynthia, people think it's Layla. Some people think it's Todrick. I don't think it's Todrick. But like, it's just like, she's so thin. It has to be Cynthia. Cynthia is a tiny little elf of a person. She's actually not that small. It's just that she was, when I think of Cynthia, I think of the Ru Acapella challenge where she was dancing between Bob and Kimchi, and they're both like 8 feet tall. So it made her look tiny. But like, I wonder if she is that tiny. I actually don't know. She lives in Texas. Why haven't I gone and seen her? Anyways, so that is the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed my recap and my opinions, because I love this show and I want to talk about it every week. I will more than likely talk about it every week. And yeah, if you have any comments, you can leave them for me, or you can tweet me at PixelPixelBoom on Twitter. You can leave a like, you can share with your friends, share with your enemies, do whatever you want. I don't really care. Subscribe if you want to. That'll be fun. I mean, I don't know. I never ask for people to do my videos, but seems like the thing to do. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say except for Team Peppermint, because I'm still Team Peppermint. I love everybody. This is the season where I truly do not know who's gonna win. I really don't know, but I'm still hoping for Peppermint to win. So I will see you guys next week, and bye guys, and remember to have fun.